Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Rifani, and in this video, I want to talk about the development of drama. First is the beginning. The origin of the drama, it has been said that have always been deeply rooted in the religious instinct of mankind. This is true of the drama of all countries, and English drama was an exception. Religious celebration is the origin of drama. From the various pagan rites and festivals arose the rich drama called Greek tragedy and Greek comedy. Greek tragedy arose from the pattern of the Dionysian's rite of life and death. In the Greek tragedy, a central character is led into death, despair, or misery through some sort of error, either in himself or in his action. Usually, the central character has some particular tragedy flow. And on the other hand, the Greek comedy arose from the pattern of Dionysian's rite of fertility. The earliest Greek comedies not only deal with the fertility but also with phallic ceremonies. Greek comedy is generally divided in three categories. First one is old comedy, second one is middle comedy, and third one is new comedy. In old comedy, we usually discover a great deal of rough comment on affair of state through political satire, and in middle comedy has no surviving example, and in new comedy usually deal with romantic situation, and we generally witness potential lover working from unheavy problematic situation into heavy confrontable ones. Uh, Comedies illustrate the traditional happy ending. Middle Age. In the late 9th and 10th century, there were stroke or musical presentation of certain church service. Particularly, the various messages from this musical presentation came drama as the priests began to speak rather than sing the story. Eventually, the trope became independent to the church liturgy, and medieval drama was established as a secular entertainment. Although religious subjects were still the most popular, gradually the presentation were moved from the church to the outdoor. Latin was replaced by regional language, and the audience became more cosmopolitan. And some of the most popular plays in this era were known as a mystery play, which were religious plays based on certain events in biblical history. Another kind of popular play was miracle play or saint play, which told a scriptural event having to do with miracle and saints. Morality play and interludes. Around the beginning of the 15th century emerged the morality play. It differed from the earlier religious drama because it contained allegory. Certain abstract passion, vices, and virtues were represented on the stage by actors in bizarre costume. Thus, the audience could watch such characters as death, evil, mercy, shame, and holiness. Some mortality play deal with a single vice or moral problem, through some deal with the whole moral problem of man's existence. The morality plays led slowly into the creation of interludes, which were relatively short drama, brief enough to be present in between the other, even at feasts. Entertainment, and many more. The interludes were extremely popular and often consistent dialogue between only two characters. The interludes sometimes were fast and not only serious and religious. Thus, the interlude is often considered to be one of the major secularizing influence on the drama. Elizabethan Renaissance England encouraged people from various professions to begin writing plays. By the late 16th century, Elizabethan drama had more become the best in the history of world literature. How easy is to mention Shakespeare, but how difficult is to mention all of the many other. And this era is the beginning of new kind of play, the romantic comedy, the riffing murder drama, the great cycle of history play, the court comedies, the pastoral play, and thus the Elizabethan stage introduced almost unbelievable number of new and talented playwrights. And at the same time, Elizabethan drama also introduced whole new kind of social drama, many of which survive to the present day. Restoration and 18th century. In the period of Restoration in England, beginning in 1660 when the Charles II was restored to the English throne, heroic play became extremely popular. The heroic drama was a kind of a tragedy or tragic comedy characterized become excess, violence, explosive dialogue, greatly tormented character, element of spectacle, and various dimensions. The heroes were usually great military leaders as well as great lovers, and often experienced a conflict between their love for a lady and their patriotism. And the heroine, on the other hand, was always virtuous and beautiful, as well as subject to the agony over conflicting interests between her hero lover and her father. And villains were usually for power hungry and villainous jealous of lover of the heroine's hero. All in all, the play were usually foughten during the same period the comedy of manner was born. 19th century and 20th century, the spectacle introduced into the drama through the heroic play slowly led into the more extreme spectacle and excessive emotions of melodrama in the 19th century. Towards the end of the century, there was also a revived interest in more serious drama, like that of the Elizabethan in 20th century. Problem plays and domestic tragedies become vastly popular. For example, it was used to be believed that a real tragedy necessarily had followed the Aristotelian principle that a noble hero suffered a calamitous fall. In this era, however, the status of tragedy heroes was brought to the domestic figure. Okay, maybe that's all. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.